It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here with my girl, Yandy.
Hey, hey, hey.
And we have a special guest joining us. Kellen Callaway is here. Hey, Kellen.
Hi.
Now, this is important because you and Yandy have worked on something together. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about it, okay? This is the movie Mr. Santa, A Christmas Extravaganza, which, by the way, I did watch last night.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I did. So congratulations on that. You're still a high school student.
Yes. Junior.
Okay. All right. Junior year. So about to be a senior and already a screenwriter.
Yes. Yeah.
So tell me how this happened, because I know you and your dad worked on this together.
Yeah. So at the beginning, it was kind of my dad's idea, and he wrote it, and then he was asking me for points about it, but I didn't really want to help him at first. Mm-hmm. And then once he finished the script, he had me read over the whole thing, and I was like, there are parts of it that I wanted to add to, so I helped him with that, and then I ended up like adding things to it throughout the whole thing, and that's kind of how it came together.
Why did you not?
Basically, she took it over.
Yeah. Why did you say it first? You
Well, that's how it always is. Like, he always asks me for help with his projects. I never want to help him. Like, I just want to read. I just want to sit in my room. But I did end up wanting to help with certain parts of it.
And he would need your help because you are a high school student,
Yeah.
and this does take place in a high school.
Yeah. And that's also why I, like, when he was writing some dialogue, I was like, nobody would ever say that.
Right.
Like, so I was like, okay, here, I think Felix should say this instead, or like, I think this would be a better part to add so that we can like laugh and we would think that was funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what I love about it is it's super important to have the authenticity of, the voice of a high school student, because it takes place, a Christmas movie about Santa with high school kids. You really have to, like, what would a high school kid say about Santa? Right. We can't speak to that. Her dad can't speak to that. Kellen, perfect, a perfect person to really speak to what should be said. So I was super excited to hear that you were a part of it. When your dad talked about writing a Christmas movie about high school kids about Santa, I'm like, you don't want to be corny. Yeah. So getting you involved, right, just gave it a better voice. Super proud of you. I've known Kellen since she was a little tiny baby girl. Her and my dad and her dad and I went to high school together.
Okay.
So.
Ooh, I love these connections. It's so nice to work with people who you've known for such a long time.
Oh, yeah. Noelle stayed putting checks in my pocket. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. And so what do you think about Yandy singing, Kellen? Let's talk about that, because
you
guys
always want to talk about stuff I don't want to talk about, Angela.
You have her doing a Christmas song, though.
I was really excited about it. I was really surprised when I heard that she was going to be on the soundtrack, and really excited because I'd never heard you sing. I know my dad said he heard you sing and that you were really good, and I thought it was really good also. Mm-hmm. Good job.
Thank you, darling.
It's impressive. Sometimes it's hard to get out of your own comfort zone, and it feels like for both of you, you kind of did that for this project. Kellen, for you coming in as a screenwriter, because you are a screenwriter as well now, and that wasn't something that you were all the way comfortable with at first.
Right.
Okay.
I had always been around my dad when he does projects, so I've seen him screenwriting, and also I did write a book when I was younger, which we turned into a short film.
The Runaway Princess.
Yes, The Runaway Princess. Yes. So I did have a little bit of experience, but not since I was 5 or 6 or whenever that was. So it was really enjoyable for me to get back into that. And I think that might be something I'm interested in going back into. Maybe I could write a few scripts, maybe even some stories.
I love that.
To just know, I could just write a few scripts.
Yeah, I could just write a few scripts. I mean, I think that's what our job is as parents, right? We can provide a platform, we can provide the knowledge and the resource to make it happen, and just really plant the seeds. So you are the manifestation, you are the harvest of the seeds that your dad has planted in so many. My actual first acting role was a film that Noelle and I produced a long time ago. It was called Life, Love, Soul, and it was great. I actually remember doing promo for that album, and that's when I was pregnant, and I announced at 106 in Park that I was having my first child. Woo! So that movie is very special to me. I filmed that movie while I was pregnant with Amir, my son. And it was great, and we kept our partnership going. So when he called me, like, Yandy, I got this movie, I want you to come on board as a producer, I'm like, of course, say less. Then he's like, but this is something different. I want you on the soundtrack. I was like, okay, I can get in the studio with the artist. I can help produce that album. No. I want you singing on the album. Then I was like, whoa, you're going way too far with this thing. No, well, I don't know about that. But I'm excited that I took the challenge.
You do have a singing voice, like when you talk.
Really?
Right? Don't you have that
I
raspy
think so.
Mariah voice?
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
that is the first time I've ever heard that, but I will take it.
And I asked Yandy too. I was like, "So are you going to be on the Love and Hip Hop album?"
And she said, no. No.
Now, Kellen, I got to ask you this because you are a junior and thinking ahead to what you're going to do in the future. Now you kind of have something you've accomplished already. Is this something that you feel like, okay, I want to go to school for this, or?
Not really, honestly. I think it is definitely something I'm interested in exploring a little bit more throughout my last 2 years in high school. But I think when I move into college, I'll want to explore something more either in the media field or maybe even something in the medical field. But that's very different.
Yeah, those are definitely two completely
very drastic
different things.
change.
For sure.
I mean, I love though to see something like this. Now, did you see yourself in one of these characters in the movie at all?
In a lot of the characters, like I said, I saw myself in like a bunch of little moments because I added so much to it. I thought I see my whole friend group in the main friend group in this movie. So just watching it and creating it was really fun experience for me because I got to put my own experiences into it.
Right.
And I got to see my friends in the main character's friends.
Tell me about bullying in high school right now, too, because that is part of the topic, right? And I think that's something that kids constantly have to deal with. From when we were going to school to kids today in school. It's a lot different now, too, because online, bullying does exist. I want to get from you what your take is on what's going on in schools now, what the online, how that's added to the mix, because that's not something that Yandy and I had to deal with. We didn't have, social media and things like that. So how do you guys deal with that when it comes to having online presences in high school?
Because of all the social media and most of the bullying is online now, which I don't know if there's no good side of it, but I don't know if it's for better or for worse. There's not a lot that happens in school. Like, you won't see someone like push someone into lockers or like, but you do hear talk, and sometimes you'll be the person who they're talking about. So it kind of depends on the situation, but how we deal with it, we'll usually talk to each other. Like, we'll find people to confide in, whether it's people our age or adults. I find it's most helpful to talk to friends, but then those friends might bring it to an adult and say, oh, I think this is getting really serious. But I think because of social media and because of media in general, it is very different than it was, say, when I was younger, even still. But yeah, I think it really just depends on the situation.
What about the election this year? Was that a topic at school too? Because I know I've seen on college campuses and even in some high schools, there's been tensions. What was that like for you?
For some reason, I feel like we completely avoided it.
Okay.
Which is not typical for my school, but I feel like this year there was a kind of avoidant nature to it. And we didn't really tackle it even after the election. So it's a little weird just in the halls, but like, you'll be familiar with people, so you know what they're thinking, but we don't really talk about it. We haven't lately.
Now, you also play basketball.
Yes.
You're a point guard, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and your dad also coaches the AAU girls basketball team. And with women's sports being on the rise the way it has been and the way it deserves to be, could you see that being something that could be a film too?
Yes, honestly. Especially high school basketball. My team has won the championship the past 3 years. And I think just a film about women's basketball throughout the years, maybe from middle school to college to the WNBA, would be really interesting to follow. And you could go into the different perspectives of the players. Since I play with a lot of my friends, it is a different experience. It's more like, it's just fun for me, honestly. It's not really work. There is work that goes into it, but it is mostly fun because of who I'm around.
I feel a collaboration right here with you two.
Listen,
that has never been done. My brain is rolling right now. Angela, let me know if you want to partner. I got some money on it.
And I heard that light flex of the winning the past 3 years. Did you hear that light flex?
We heard that.
Okay,
put that in.
Light flex.
All you do is win, win, win. You keep winning, girlfriend. I love it.
And look, I went to Poly Prep. You go to Dalton.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember, did we beat Dalton in basketball? I got to flash back to those days.
since
I was a
I've
point
been
guard
here,
also.
She said, not while I've been on the court.
All right, well, listen, we're going to talk more to Yandy when we come back. But Kellen, before you leave, can you tell us, just for people who are listening who might want to watch Mr. Santa, A Christmas Extravaganza, just give us a quick summary and how people can watch the movie.
Yes. Okay. So Mr. Santa follows a group of kids. They have to put on their own play, and there's a substitute teacher that comes in, and they figure out that, or they think that it might be Santa Claus.
Tell us who that substitute teacher is in real life.
That is Jeffrey Owens.
Hey,
Yeah. Y'all know Jeffrey Owens.
Yeah, the movie comes out this Friday in theaters, so go see that.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you for joining us,
Yes.
Kellen Callaway, and her dad, Noel, who's here as well.
So proud of you.
Yandy,
So proud
you're not
of
off
you.
the hook, though.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
So you stay seated because you're co-hosting, but we're also talking to you. It's Way Up.
Way up.